In this tutorial we're going to take a look at an example file for Adafruit MQTT. I first made this to just random upload an integer. You could use text or other specific analog values or whatever you like. But this one, we have a clock generator that triggers once every 10 seconds. You don't want this to upload a value too often, because that will make problems with your account. They probably want to ban you or something. But these clocks, every 10th second, we're gonna split the clock signal. So first it's gonna make a random integer value. We're gonna make that to a text, which get put into the MQTT client. So now the value is stored over here. Then the second clock is gonna start the socket. So it's gonna try to connect to Adafruit's MQTT. This is on for 3 seconds, then it's gonna turn off. During those 3 seconds, the connection is gonna be allowed to be alive. The reason I've done this is because sometimes if you will lose the signal, you're not safe to assume that it will re-establish the connection. So to avoid this potential problem, I have made a sync pin on the enable. Usually it's just like this. It's either enabled or disabled. The default is true. That means it's on or enabled. This works fine too, but to make it more reliable, I like to make a sync pin, and then to turn it on and off, it will force to reconnect. So it's gonna, each time it's gonna upload the value, and each time it's gonna make sure it can connect. So that one goes over there. In the connection address in the socket, we have Adafruit, the broker address io.adafruit.com, and the port is an unsecured port. It's not an it's not crypted, it's an open, so it's not as safe, but that's the only one I can make work. 1883. This is different on different brokers, but it's the most common one. Then on the MQTT client, here is you're gonna put in your values, as well as you need to make sure you have a Wi-Fi connection. I have one over here. I'm not gonna show the values on that. Oh, sorry, this is, I removed my credentials. So this is your SSID, this is your Wi-Fi password. The MQTT component have the client ID, and this is the name you want to set for your Arduino. So this could be living room Arduino or kitchen Arduino or whatever you like. It doesn't matter. Then you have just a component name. This could be just for your readability. So you know, forget about it. It's just a name. This is the API key. So this is unique to your login name. It's like a password, you could say. Then you have your actual login name, and the topic is the name on the actual feed. So here you have, this is very important, here you're gonna paste in your username, then this is gonna stay like it is, and the last portion is the actual name of the topic, and last of all your actual login name. So we're gonna do that live right now. I log into my Adafruit. I'm gonna go into feeds, view all feeds. I'm gonna do a new feed. I'm gonna call it whatever, just test. And in here we can see the values come in, and we're gonna have a diagram as well. The dashboard is, you can make more kind of looks. You can have gauges and stuff like that you set into the dashboard. But the feed, that's where all the values are. In feed info, you can see the API address or commands or whatever. Here you have the MQTT key. This is the topic. So this one is going to match this one. So first it's going to be my username, the name feeds, and the actual feed name. But look at this. It says test with a lowercase t. This could be done like this too. Let's see. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna remove this, delete it. I'm gonna make a new one, new feed. Let's type test with this big T. Test, create. It's a big T over here, but if you look at the feed info, you can have a lowercase. So in this, it's always gonna need to be lowercase, but the username can be big or small, just the way you type. That's very important. So now I've got the topic on its place. My username will be badass, because I'm a badass, of course. My Arduino in the kitchen. And the API key, you find this over here. And this is kind of, I shouldn't show you this, but I'm going to regenerate a new key. But this is, one problem with the Adafruit is that you can't make several users, because this is only for one user. So if you have several projects, it's going to use the same key. I can show you another time on another broker. You can set up, each users can have either write or read value credentials, and you can lock it up like that, because that makes everything much more secure. But this is just for one person, one user. Take that one and pass that act as a password. Enter. So now I have the name on the Arduino, the key, the API key, the username, and the topic. As well as the socket have the address and the port. We're going to turn on and off the socket, and then it's going to upload this value. And that is going to be a random value between 0 and 100. So I'm going to upload this. And uploaded. We could, if you would like, you can look at the serial terminal to show the values. So it's going to show this value over here as well as on the page. 0. And then it's going to be 0 over here as well. Hopefully. Oh, for fuck's sake. I didn't set the SSID. Close your eyes. Like that, and then upload it one more time. And uploaded. Take a look at the values. $47, and Voila! Let's see. 47, yay! And the next value is gonna be drawing a diagram, because the next value is gonna be 37, and so on. Alright, so that's working, and now we're gonna take a look at the dashboard. This is beautiful. Gonna make a new dashboard. Test. Create it. And here we're gonna make some cool component. Let's take a gauge and choose a feed. I'm gonna use a test feed, and could name it whatever I like, what the max value is gonna be, lowest, so on, how big, blah blah, and create block. So now we have this one. Alright, can add another one. Can have a line chart, and it's gonna be over, let's say, 1 hour, and create block. I think you can move it around as well. Maybe make it bigger. So this is kind of nice. If you like, then you can make it available or private. Make it this dashboard blah blah blah, so you could be able to share it. It's gonna save this one. So now we have a working dashboard. So this you can put on a Raspberry Pi or whatever you like, so you can make quite beautiful interface for people to watch. So that's all. That's connecting MQTT to Adafruit.